folks. You're still listening to Too Many Movies. That's the podcast where we discuss DVDs, Blu-rays, and even the occasional VHS tape. Oh, I love VHS tapes. Don't do you agree, Brian?
Oh yeah, I love VHS tapes. Slap stomach.
But I can't have too much or else my collection will be too fat.
Yeah, okay. But they're so good.
They're so good.
Exactly.
I was a little rickety on quoting that scene because I just watched it yesterday and I'm like, I hope I get the quote right. But
that's it.
Okay, good. I'm glad. But yeah, Brian, you're back again. But it's because, we haven't had Anthony on in a while. Anthony, it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been. Yeah. I was supposed to be on that fucking Venom episode, but then I got sick.
Yeah.
So I just made I think I was in you put a thing where I was in the near the end for it.
Very end.
I think. Yeah, at the very end, yeah. And then I guess not including that, the last time I was on when I was talking about fucking Norbit and Pathfinder of all things.
Oh, Norbit.
Most random ass episode.
Dude, it just occurred to me that the Norbit episode, that Norbit does connect to one of today's movies, but we'll get to that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess so.
Huh? We'll get to that. We'll get to it. Not yet, Minion. Not yet. So this is the CHUD episode, the CHUD duology episode. And the reason I wanted to make it the CHUD episode, because I realized, I want to have Brian and Anthony on, because I did your guys' podcast way back when.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? That Vertigo discussion was still very good.
It was.
Yes.
Even though it was a couple years back. But my point is, I wanted to have you guys on this show. And I was like, let me find some real movies. Because, every time I've had Brian on, it's always been a hoot and a holler. It's always been a meme-y kind of episode. It's like, no, let's take things seriously. Let's talk about some serious movies. I looked through your guys' watch lists, and I thought, let me see here. The Day the Earth Stood Still. Oh, fucking whatever other movies I found that I have on DVD or whatever. And then I realized, because I think it was Anthony's, or maybe it was also yours, Brian. I don't know. One of your guys' watch list, I came across the CHUD movies, and I thought, fuck, that's a great idea. Because, Brian, please explain the CHUD running joke we have, because even I don't understand it.
Okay, so it's a really stupid thing, because obviously CHUD, if you're in the lingo, maybe not you, Hal, because you're really old and so you don't get anything. Mm-hmm. But CHUD is a common slang word. And I used to just start saying, I'm such a chud, slap stomach. And one time I think I said that in call or something, and I captioned it with the one Family Guy gif where it's Brian really fat and he's eating the chocolate. I love chocolate. And then someone found that very funny, and we just started saying, I'm such a chud, slap stomach. And then that's it. It's such a dumb joke. There's nothing to it other than that. And I just kept going like that. And then naturally, in my head, I was like, I should watch the CHUD movies for the bit for that. And I didn't for a month because I was like, this is stupid. But you know what? If we have an excuse for it now, then sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I knew he doesn't say CHUD in that scene, but even still, I still associate the word CHUD with that scene. Just every time I see Fat Brian, I just think he says CHUD. He doesn't. I'm actively gaslighting myself, and I know it's not one of those Berenstein situations. I know it's not that, but something in the back of my head is treating it like it's a Berenstein sort of situation.
Yeah. I mean, CHUD is an older word than you'd think. I was watching a Simpsons clip the other day. It's the one where Homer goes to New York and he plans the flashback of everything. He calls New Yorkers chuds in that scene, and not in an acronym way.
Yeah, and that's when the chuds came after me. Yeah.
And I thought that was an edit, but that's actually in there too, which is really funny because obviously no one in pre-internet age knew it would be a stupid brain rot word.
Yeah,
but it's there.
Yeah,
and then. The TED show, you haven't gone to that episode, but they do mention it in the TED show too.
Yeah.
Which is really fun.
No, I'm familiar
because
with
that was a reference to the movie.
Yeah, I'm familiar with the TED show reference. I mean, I'm not there yet. I'm still in season 1. I just finished watching the Christmas episode of season 1 just now. Great show. But yeah, this is not going to matter when the episode's uploaded. And point is, this has nothing to do with the movies. This is literally the reason we were making the CHUD episode, and now we're going to talk about the movies that have nothing to do with the CHUD running joke. So
yeah, well, it's close enough.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we just did a 4-hour fucking episode on Betty Boop and Popeye cartoons, and we barely talked about Betty Boop or Popeye. So that's kind of what this podcast is about at this point.
Mm-hmm. I think this will actually break my streak because every single guest episode I've gotten has been slightly less serious than the last one.
Yeah.
But I don't think I can go lower than the fucking Popeye Betty Boop thing. So luckily I am ascending slightly.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, there were some classic moments in there. The Andrew Dobson discussion. That's all I can remember at the moment. There was probably something last week we talked about.
Sherlock Holmes discussion.
Sherlock Holmes was an all-timer. I gotta admit. Yeah.
Okay. As for me with these movies, I don't know why they're on my watch list. I deadass I realized they were when you mentioned doing this, and I was like, why the fuck are these on my watch list?
Well, I think
I thought the titles were funny.
Well, the titles are funny, and also we have experience with CHUD, like me specifically, because Wheel Night, like that's how we discovered these CHUD movies, was through Wheel Night.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm sure you guys probably saw that me and the Shafe Gang reviewed them, and we're just like, what's this? What's this?
Yeah,
goofy
that's
little
probably
movie?
why I put them on the watch list.
Right, exactly.
Because they.
Yeah. So
yeah.
CHUD's been around. I think it's now high time we give it its flowers, which is funny because if we're doing a CHUD episode, it probably should have been with someone like William or James, but sorry guys, I got Anthony and Brian instead. So
yeah. Well, I think that too, like you guys watching them was one thing, and then I think it was Shafe's review. He says something like the biggest gap in quality between first and second movies, which that sounded interesting, and I think after watching it, that's 100% true. Because CHUD 1, I'm not gonna lie, I already forgot like most of it, and CHUD 2. It's just it's wonderful. It's so funny.
So yeah, I mean, no time like the present. Then let's get started by talking about what we can of CHUD 1, because let's slap our stomachs. We did not like CHUD when we first watched it. So, oh god, that's a disturbing gif, but
you're not familiar with Bowser Fart, Hal?
No, I don't have to be familiar with it. I can pretty much digress. I can pretty much understand what's happening. Yeah, no. I cannot digest this. This is
This is the Mario movie too.
Oh, no kidding! I must have missed that scene in the Mario movie. I guess I saw the edited version, so maybe that's the version they show in China. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, so CHUD, famously when we first started Wheel Night way back when, that was one of our first. It wasn't the first, but it was definitely early on where we spun a wheel. We found the title on Tubi. We spun it. It landed on CHUD, and we thought, this sounds hilarious. Let's watch CHUD. And oh my god, what a disappointment! And I think it's because we realized. And you realize early on, and then, you watch the rest of the movie, you realize, oh, this isn't funny. It's taking itself very seriously, which would honestly mean sometimes it ends up being funny in that way. Like a movie can take itself too seriously to the point that everything it does is so funny. No, this is just straight up a boring fucking, you're supposed to take this seriously movie. And by the end you go, oh, what a waste of time. So
unfortunately, this movie doesn't live up to the funny word that it's associated with.
True. Yeah, no. And look, I'm not saying you can't make a movie like CHUD serious. I mean, it's going to be a monumental achievement if you can make a movie called CHUD, a fucking serious drama horror or whatever. But like, it can be done. I'm not entirely against the ideas that they present in the movie. It's just execution wise, it's really not there. Brian, what are your opening thoughts?
I I feel like most of this movie is just scenes of people talking in random rooms, and
not the fun
only
kind.
part I really, off the top of my head, I remember being funny. I think the main girl, there's one part she's taking a shower and then randomly blood gets everywhere, and I was like, oh, that's funny. But then nothing else. Yeah,
I forgot about that scene.
Yeah, well, because like, yeah, no, it's a very boring movie. I think that's, you get that pretty right away. You know, again, I'm not opposed to it being characters talking. You can absolutely make that interesting. Look at Oppenheimer, but you know that has to do with execution. Obviously, I would say Nolan is a much more experienced and talented director than Douglas Cheek, the director of
even has
CHUD.
Cheek in his name.
Yeah, because his movie's Cheeks.
Exactly.
Swish.
I mean, yeah, with like, yeah, with this movie, it's mainly just kind of like saying the same type of shit about like, oh wow, the government, the government kind of sucks with how they handle oh no, how they handle their like own public image over people's safety, and they kind of just that's kind of just the main thing it's saying throughout most of the runtime, and you kind of get the gist of it quickly.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, there's this really pretentious review of it by Letterboxd reviewer Branson. I'm sure you're all familiar. Look, you guys watch Looney Tunes. You're familiar with Branson's work, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Branson is one of those reviewers on Letterboxd who's very hit or miss, because when his hits hit, oh brother, they hit. Like, some of his Looney Tunes reviews are just fucking chef's kiss. They're perfect. He really nails them. He's really funny. And then he gets something like this where he's talking about CHUD and it being like, it's a reflection of the era that it was made in, much like how in the 1950s. And it's just like, oh god, dude, it's CHUD. Who cares? I
was very shocked by that, because that's not how he types usually. So I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But I did not agree, sadly.
Yeah. But no, and plus, you see there's a lot of positive reviews for CHUD on Letterboxd, and it's all people, I don't know, who love cheesy culty horror movies, which I guess this is what that is. That's what we were expecting when we initially watched it, but that's not what we get. I mean, in a way we do get that, but it's like the culty shit, we really shouldn't be watching. Look, there's culty shit that you find on Tubi, a lot of like old 80s schlocky horror movies that you discover years later. You go, oh, this rules, because it's a lot of fun to watch. And then there's ones that end up on Mystery Science Theater 3000 and you go, no, we don't need to keep watching this. This is a pain in the ass to get through. That's what CHUD is. That CHUD would end up on an episode of Mystery Science Theater 3000. But I guess people are pretending to like it for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe I think it's what you brought up, Anthony. It brings up like, oh, the government is corrupt, and that's enough for some people. It's like, I don't know.
It's deep.
Yeah. Oh, it's deep.
Yeah. So many movies have done that in a much like more subtle and like a way where the point gets across quickly.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's why I disagree with Branson on this. And I don't want to single him out. It's very unfair that I'm singling him out. Honestly, Branson, I'm so sorry if you're listening. But like,
get him on the podcast.
Oh, I'd love that. That would be the best. But anyway, my point is,
CHUD redo debate episode. You should do that.
CHUD redo debate. Oh yeah, first the Frosty debate, now the CHUD debate. There you go.
The Frosty debate was a CHUD debate, if you think about it.
Yeah, no, it's one and the same. Absolutely. Yeah, no. So I mean, the basic story of CHUD is that there's these killers from underground, in the sewer, and you think, oh, what are they? They're cannibalistic
humanoid underground dweller.
Yeah, which is just homeless people that were that got reacted to toxic waste, and then they're just killed. Which honestly is a really cool idea, because you have, killer slasher monster movie with the CHUDs walking around, and the CHUDs themselves do look really cool. They have these like melting faces, they have the glowing eyes. That's a really cool monster for this movie. But you can also have a very deep very deep themes regarding, again, the CHUDs themselves are homeless people that have been that have been, degrading because of the toxic waste. So you think, okay, this can bring up issues with homelessness in New York, or the toxic waste, what the government is doing with that. You can have these elements, but the movie is not fun. And so neither of these elements, we don't really care about the chuds. I don't think there's no like different chuds with different personalities. They look cool, but they don't feel cool. And then, the whole aspect of the issues with homelessness. I don't know. You don't really have the movie tackling this issue one way or another. They just have a government stooge as the main villain, and he just doesn't do anything cool. He's just the government stooge. He's just, I'm evil because I work for the government, and that's about it. It's very surface level.
Mm-hmm. And it's disappointing because the chuds themselves are not in the movie that much.
That too.
And it makes me, at first I thought because the opening scene, they get right into it with like the random lady and her dog being pulled into the sewer, who is, I think, is later to be related to like the wife of the main officer character.
Yeah, I
refuse to remember their name.
Yeah, she's the wife. She's the wife of the cop, like the mustache cop. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he is, really.
Yeah, but like, again, no, you don't. There's not a lot of good characters in this movie. There's a lot of actors I recognize, like Daniel Stern and John Hurd, two Home Alone actors.
From Home Alone.
Yeah. So Home Alone.
Oh, that's where his face was from. It was on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, John Hurd is like this asshole photographer. His girlfriend is the woman from Brazil. And again, Daniel Stern, he plays AJ the Reverend Shepherd, and he's like this guy who takes care of the homeless. But again, like they don't really have characters. I don't know. They're just not, or at least if they do have character, they're just not interesting characters. I recognize them as John Hurd and Daniel Stern, but I'm the girl from Brazil. But yeah, I genuinely forgot their names. The girl from Brazil's name is Lauren in this movie. I didn't fucking remember that.
I don't remember most of the character's name. I just remember Daniel Stern's character as the Reverend.
Yeah, the Reverend.
That's about it.
Yeah, which that sounds cool. It's like, okay, why is he called the Reverend? Are you going to elaborate on that? No, I don't know. Just the movie just doesn't take advantage of anything it has. It has this really cool concept. It has elements that could lead it to being a very mature and even profound look into, again, the homeless issues in New York City. Doesn't do that. It has these good actors, like these are all really good actors, and does nothing with them. It's just a waste of time. I don't understand why this has a bit of a cult following going, and arguably Chud 2 doesn't. I feel like the cult following that Chud 2 gets is mostly within our friend circle,
I think it's high. Yeah, hold on. Chud 1 is higher than Chud 2 on Letterboxd by a little bit too. I think it's 2.8 versus 2.6, which is not that different.
Right.
But like, I'd argue these are not that similar. Of movies at all.
They're really not. Yeah, no. There's a huge difference. I'm trying to think of like things to talk about with Chud, because I feel like, I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like maybe the first time me and my friends watched it, it wasn't a VC, and I'm going to be real, watching movies in voice chat, like watching movies on Discord with friends can be very difficult sometimes depending on the movie. Like we've had so many times where I try to watch a movie and people are just talking about whatever shit like over the movie. So it's kind of hard to judge it.
I would know. I'm usually the one talking bullshit over the movie.
Look, so. It's different when like you're riffing on the movie, like you're making fun of it. Like that's fun. You're talking about details in a movie. That's fun. But when, I don't know, you're talking about movies, talking about other shit, talking about the bad guys, or talking about whatever during a movie, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of distracting. So like,
yeah, I mean, sometimes though, that's usually because the thing's boring enough for that.
Right.
I see your
right, exactly. But sometimes, we just start 5 minutes in, no matter what the movie is. But like, so I was willing to give the benefit of the doubt. Hey, maybe we were unfair to the Chud 1. Maybe it's not a movie you watch in VC. It's a movie you watch on your own and you appreciate every detail. No, it's fucking boring. Like it was about as boring as I had remembered it being. And it's like, there's nothing to hold on to. It's not even so bad it's good. There's no elements about it that are funny, besides the designs of the Chuds. But they're not on screen all that often, so there's really not a lot of fun to be had with them.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's like a scene in the movie where they're like there's like an army finally showing up on surface, and then I thought, oh my God, is something entertaining and like creative about to happen? And they go into a diner, but oh nope, they cut that. That's off screen. They kill people off screen in the diner,
Yeah,
and then they just cut back to more boring conversation scenes that
yeah.
really just don't have much value.
Oh, one of the cops in the diner. Do you recognize?
Um, no, actually,
Okay, one of the cops in the
I
diner,
barely remember.
the fat one. That's John Goodman.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. John.
Oh, wow. I'm looking at the cast list now, huh? It says Cop and
Oh,
Diner.
Yeah, he's one of the cops in the. Yeah, like
wow,
two
wonderful.
cops walk in and they're just like, "What'll it be?" And he's like,
Oh,
"Burger and a
yeah.
Coke." And yeah, that's John Goodman. Yeah.
Huh.
This was
Ah,
probably one of his earliest roles, I think. I mean, because it's '84, so yeah, this was pre Roseanne, pre. What was he in like the early 2000s? This is pre Always, actually. He was in Always, the Spielberg
wow.
movie
Yeah.
everybody likes. Yeah,
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
that's a joke. Nobody likes
Pre-Rocky and
Always.
Bullwinkle too.
Pre Rocky and Bullwinkle, pre Monsters Inc., pre Emperor's New Groove. Yeah, just pre everything basically. Yeah, John Goodman. Isn't that crazy?
What a start.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it could only go up from there, from Chud.
Yeah.
So,
Obviously.
Mhm.
Yeah, he really had a great start as Cop and Diner.
yeah. I'm sure
Yeah.
the Coens, when, casting for Big Lebowski, they're just like, we need that guy, Cop and Diner and Chud.
Yes. It was in that one scene where he was like killed off screen because they didn't feel like showing the Chuds more.
Yeah, that's right. They killed him off screen.
Oh,
Lame. Yeah. Well, because, like, yeah, I don't know. Have that scene instead of. Yeah, have the scene of the Chuds attacking the patrons instead of the long 5-minute scene where John Hurd and his girlfriend talk about having an abortion or something like that. Like, I don't know if you guys even remember that scene. There's that scene early on when the Brazil lady goes, "Hey, I'm pregnant and I don't know if I want to keep it," and they have like a conversation about it. It's like, why is this in the movie? I
forgot that was a thing in the movie.
Well, look.
Actually,
oh wait, that's
just
why
reminded
it's in
me.
that fucking TED episode, because that's what that TED episode's about. It's the abortion episode.
Oh, the abortion episode. Okay, yeah. Yeah, well, no, but no,
yeah.
they literally talk about like, oh, I don't know if I want it. Would you support me? And John Hurt's like, of course, babe, I'd support you. It's like, I don't know, just the way they're talking does not sound natural. It sounds like I may be reading too much into this. It feels like the director or the writer or whoever, like the filmmakers, just wanted to have a scene with John Hurd being like, yeah, I'm cool with you having an abortion. It's like, why is this in the movie? Again, I'm not trying to sound like a pro-life crazy right-winger right now. I'm just saying, like, why are we focusing on that? Because here's the thing. If you're going to focus on that, sure, I thought maybe they have that scene there to then kind of plant the seeds in your mind. So then when the Brazil lady is kind of in danger with the Chuds later on, you think, oh, now I'm extra scared for her because not only would she die, the baby would then die. But it's like, I don't know, that never really plays a role. She's never really in any more danger.
I forgot she was pregnant. I'm a dead ass. You just reminded me when you brought that up.
Yeah, cut out the abortion talk, or cut out the scene where she says she's pregnant, because it's not really focused on the abortion. It's just it's focused on, because she ends up saying like, I'm going to keep the baby, and it's like this whole happy, wholesome scene, like, oh, we're going to be parents or whatever. But it never plays into anything in the rest of the movie. You could cut that out completely. It doesn't really change her being in danger when the Chuds eventually come and try to attack her,
Mm-hmm.
So why is it in the fucking movie?
Exactly.
The main, like, the only times, like, there's like 2 times I laughed because it was a small, like, chuckle at something. It's like, there was this, like, one random scene when, like, there was, like, this random old lady character, like, ends up slapping, like, the main guy. I don't remember most of the characters' names. That's how boring this movie is.
Was it the homeless lady?
And, like,
the homeless lady gets arrested?
Yes. And then, like, I don't know, there's, like, a scene where, like, she slaps the main character, and it is like the quietest, like most ineffective slap, and he ends up falling. I don't know. I thought that was funny. I like noted it down because it was like that was just It was just so random and like I don't know. It's not even that funny. This isn't like an actual funny movie. I'd probably forget about it. But since I was just scouring for something to enjoy, something as like a quiet, like ineffective slap was funny to me.
The slap heard not around the world. Yeah,
exactly.
She was just angry because the guy made a G.I. Jane joke in the scene before.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, Richard.
Yeah.
For about that. Yeah, there's another scene where like I kind of laughed at that. I think it was like near the climax where the main cop like punches the stereotypical government guy, and like it's just like the weirdest punch ever, even though I feel like it should be so much more effective since like throughout the whole movie, like the main cop guy has been like arguing with the government guy. Like I said, refuse to remember their names.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, and it's like it's just so ineffective.
Yeah, he punches. I don't remember the specific punch where he punches the government stooge. Yeah, and then the government stooge literally blows up in a van at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And you don't
He
care.
does.
You don't care. Like, it's not a fun character. You think it'd be like a fun character, like oh, you love to hate this guy. No, he just sucks. And it's not like in a fun way. And it doesn't feel purposeful. It feels like, I don't know, am I supposed to be angry while watching CHUD at this character? It's lame.
If they made him like a very like mustache twirly, like overly like stupid villain, I guess, with like an actual personality, then it could have worked.
Yeah.
But it is just boring.
He's just boring. Yeah, he is mustache twirling and evil. Again, for the sake of being evil, because he works for the government. The government's bad. Government bad, guys. It's like, yeah, okay, great. Do something interesting with that. Don't just be like, oh, this guy sucks. Like make it interesting or make it fun or make it something. Make it something. This is nothing. This is genuinely.
Yeah, make him evil in like a funny, like a twisted way. I don't know. Make him have like even more mustache twirly, not in like a boring government way, just so they can have this very like unsubtle message about the government bad or something like that. Like you get that point real quickly, and that's all this movie really is.
I feel like this movie thinks it's far smarter than it is. Maybe this is what I like to call a George Carlin situation, where George Carlin, famous comedian, when you go back and listen to some of his stand-up, he's literally just complaining as an old man. And he's just saying shit that a lot of us know nowadays, where he's like, the government's corrupt and blah, 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 blah. Like going on rants, like an old man rant. It really is that. Sometimes it's really funny. But my point is, it doesn't really work as well in the modern era, where it's like, yeah, we know all this. So you're not really saying anything profound or interesting. You're just like saying shit that we already know. I feel like that's what this is. Like, I'm sure back in the day, some teenagers watched CHUD and go, whoa, the government's corrupt, man. And there's these fucking homeless monsters down underground killing people. That's fucking sick. Like, back in the day, I'm sure this would have been a fucking crazy movie to watch at the midnight movie theaters in New York City and go, this rules. But in modern day, it's just a boring movie you find on Tubi. It's really lost its sauce, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is the funniest thing in this movie. Also, I think Shafe said this in his review, but they don't even stop the chuds.
No,
like they don't. They forget about them.
Yeah,
like they kill the mean corporate villain, but the chuds are still around. They're on the surface. It's like. They don't do anything. Like they act like, the main couple, they're like hugging or whatever. And then like, and then they just cut to credits. I'm like, what? The chuds are still alive. They're still gonna kill everyone.
Yeah.
Like what? I thought that was the main conflict.
Well, if I had to assume why they didn't have a conflict resolution with the chuds, it's, I mean, with a lot of horror movies, that's kind of how a lot of them end, where you go, the killers are still out there.
The
chuds will never truly go away. The killers are still out there. The monster is still out there. There's like a last second jump scare moment. He's back. He's not dead yet. To either set up a sequel or, embarrassingly, most movies just end up don't having a sequel anyway. They just have that, and it's just a painful, dumb thing that most horror movies do. But the movie doesn't do it that way. They just, they have the van explode, the government stooge blows up, and then they're hugging, and then the credits start rolling. So it's not really the Chuds are still out there. It's more of a we ran out of film, we're just going to stop here sort of situation.
Yeah, if the Chuds maybe like you said, if they showed up for a jump scare or something, but like it really does seem like they just forgot to solve the conflict.
Yeah,
and they because it didn't seem like they were because they were acting like this was like a nice victory, I guess, or whatever. And we don't even see the Chud after like the credits, so it's like it just seems like it's just an abrupt ending instead of like like you said, a lot of like really good horror movies can like end with a tease that the killer is still around, like something like Nightmare on Elm Street does that, and like
Halloween does that. I really like the way Halloween does it.
Yeah. That too, that's done really well. But this one, they just seemed like they forgot because we don't even see the Chuds. Like they're barely in the movie. They have cool designs, like you said, but like
I mean, they're cool designs for a movie of this caliber. They look cheap. They look like rubber masks. The light up eyes are really, really cheesy. But again, I'm okay with that if the movie kind of reflects that cheesiness. And the movie takes itself far too seriously to the point that this is lame. This feels like fresh out of college. I'm going to make this awesome movie that's politically relevant, that's politically smart, that's all these things, and it looks cool. And then you make it and you go, oh, this is lame, and you're supposed to make fun of it. But I don't know. There's just nothing fun about making fun of this movie. It's just lame and boring. And it sucks because I really like the poster for it on Letterboxd that I have for it, where it's the Chud coming out of the sewer and like the all New York City skylines on top of the sewer. That's a really cool poster, and it's wasted on this fucking abysmally boring movie.
It reminds me of the poster for the live action TMNT movie, like the original non-Michael Bay one. That's what it reminds me of.
1990s Ninja Turtles is a far grittier and more entertaining and politically relevant movie than fucking Chud is. I would sooner take...
Yeah, it's fucking Ninja Turtles. It's more like appealable to kids.
Oh, dude. Ninja Turtles 1990 rules so much more harder than Chud. Like, fuck Chud.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I love Ninja Turtles 1990. Yeah, no, that's... do we have anything else to say about Chud other than it's boring, it sucks, and I don't understand why there's... Again, it's just, I've only really seen this on Letterboxd where it's people giving it positive scores being like, wow, what a fun schlocky movie. It's like, I don't see that.
No.
Man, I guess like one thing is I watched this on Prime Video because I found I was on there, and most like it's very, very nitpicky and small, but it was like so distracting for like half the movie. The subtitles were like delayed by like a solid 10 seconds.
Ooh, that sucks. Yeah, Prime subtitles are weird, I must say. I feel like there is, I don't know, maybe it was Prime. I feel like there's other streaming services where the subtitles are just laggy and it's weird. Maybe it is Prime. I think Prime does kind of lag sometimes. It's really distracting.
Right.
That happened to me once while watching an anime thing, and it was really annoying because I literally can't understand what they're saying if it's out of sync and everything. It's like, God damn it, I can't follow along.
No, it sucks. Yeah, I think it's the good news. It's good whenever I watch like a game on Prime. Like I'll watch either football or basketball, and I don't use the subtitles because it's like I don't really need to hear what the commentators are saying. But like if I'm watching a movie, I need subtitles. So, like, fix your shit, Amazon. Fix your shit, Jeff. Come on.
Yes.
I know you're listening.
Yeah, he's your active viewer right now.
Yeah, Mr. Bezos. He's our biggest subscriber.
Hey, Jeff Bezos, come on the podcast, please.
Yeah, please. I'll have Jeff Bezos on the podcast. So, yeah.
I think I have one more random note. I found it funny, like, another, like, scene I thought was like, okay, it's the scene where like one of the Chuds randomly like takes like a little girl's grandpa away, and I swear the little girl has like no reaction, like she doesn't scream or anything. She just stands there like, what?
That's one of those things that's one of those things I really don't understand how directing a child actor works. It's like, really, like that's the best take you could have given. And look, I don't want to be, too hard on child actors because you're acting. It's not easy. I've done acting in small things. So like, let alone fucking big productions. That must be hell. It's not easy, okay? It's not easy to act. I understand that. But, like, I don't know. Just the some performances I see from child actors, I just go, was there really no better choice for this role? Or was there really no better direction the director could have given? They just had the child actor just looking straight on. Like, yeah, she has no emotion in that face. It's bizarre. And I guess you could argue, oh, that's just how she has a coping mechanism. It's like, no, I think they just told her to stand there and then that's it. Because
at least tell her to scream or something.
Or look scared. Or look terrified. Like, or have their eyes wide, you know? Like, be like, widen the eyes. No, they don't even do that. They just have her stand there like, oh, I guess my grandpa's dead. It's like, oh, that sucks.
Just imagine the fucking director of this movie. Who the fuck is the director of this movie again?
Douglas Cheeks.
Douglas Cheek. Just like telling the girl, okay, so we're gonna need you to just like stare into distance.
Yeah.
Just stare like in the distance and just don't emote. Just gotta like stare in the distance or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I think isn't your fucking grandpa dying?
Yeah. Don't show emotion. That's very deep. We're a very deep movie. People will take Chud seriously. Trust me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Lame.
Yeah. Lame. Yeah, this movie sucked.
Yeah. So I'm glad we rewatched it. I gave it another chance. It sucks as much as I remember it. I will never watch Chud again. I see no reason to ever watch this movie again. It is so boring. And, you know, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who would love to come on the podcast and defend Chud. No. Fuck you.
Well, I could have been one of them, but sadly that was not the case.
No, so. You saw the light. You realized, oh no, this movie sucks. So,
yes.
Good.
But you know what doesn't suck?
What doesn't suck, Brian?
Well, it would be CHUD 2, Bud the Chud,
of
course.
Here
which is probably an even worse title than the first one, but that somehow makes it funnier.
I was going to say, this fucking title. It's like just the name of the Chud in this movie. They just took a name that rhymed with Chud and say, you know, how about this? His name is Bud.
Yeah.
Because that rhymes with Chud. So that's
CHUD
why
2,
so that's
Bud
how
the Chud.
We got a sequel.
Yeah, CHUD 2, Bud the Chud is a pretty bad sequel title, but it is so bad it's good. Like, CHUD 2, Bud the Chud. It is so stupid that it works. I love it. So, CHUD 2, so obviously the way it goes, Wheel Night, CHUD 1, watch party, huge stinker, huge disappointment, CHUD 1. Couple weeks or months later, this was also kind of early on, we landed on CHUD 2, and we thought, oh no, fuck. We thought, oh, the first one was such a disappointment, and you know, when is a sequel ever as good as the original? Those rarely ever happen. And a lot of people don't like this one from when we saw it initially. There was really not a lot of love for CHUD 2. But dadgummit, we turned on CHUD 2 and we instantly were like, wait a minute. Guys, this might be better than CHUD 1? And we watched the whole thing and it became like a huge, like CHUD 2, I would say early on became kind of the pinnacle of what we want a Wheel Night tier movie to be like. You know, CHUD 1 is essentially, you know, the stuff we don't want to see. CHUD 2 is what most Wheel Night movies should aim to be. Like, that was early on. We thought, well, this rules. And then I thought, oh, does it hold up? And I remember I showed people last year, we rewatched it. It's been a couple of years, a new group of people in the Wheel Night server, and they were like, oh wait, this also rules. Like I was so satisfied to realize, oh, it does actually hold up. It is a very funny movie. Watching it a third time on Blu-ray, because again, I had it on Blu-ray. That's how we were able to do this episode. It's so funny. CHUD 2, dude. I love this movie. It is it's so funny because CHUD 1 was CHUD 1 even that big of a hit? I don't
think so.
Maybe like
was it in theaters?
Yeah, CHUD 1 was in theaters because it was 1984.
Really? Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah, 84. It probably did okay in theaters, but then did gangbusters on VHS. I'm sure once it was released on VHS, it became one of those cool horror movies you watch, CHUD, and then as a teenager, you watch Chud, you go, oh wow, I'm cool because I'm watching the scary movie on VHS. But then I guess because it was such a hit, they made a sequel. Well, so famously, the rights. So famously, this movie was supposed to be a sequel to Return of the Living Dead. You know, that like semi pseudo sequel to Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
It's the one where they like blow up a bunch of zombies and there's like a.
Well, that's why everyone fucking blows up, and that makes sense.
Yeah. So like Return of the Living Dead, they were supposed to make a sequel. I guess they did make a sequel, but like it was supposed to be this, but then they couldn't get the rights to it. So then they made this a Chud sequel because they thought, well, we got to attach it to something, and so they attached it to Chud, even though the Chuds in this one look nothing like the Chuds in the first one.
Look like zombies.
They're just zombies. They're just zombies.
And it's funny because the poster for this movie has it like with claws.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see, it almost looks like an ET type thing because it's like covered in like a fucking like cloak or whatever almost, and it's like night or whatever, and it's oh no, it's like oh the Chud has been taken home. But yeah, I definitely could tell like halfway. It's like okay, there's no way this was originally planned as a sequel to Chud.
No, none of the characters from the first one show up. You don't see Daniel Stern or John Hurt or any of those characters.
No more Mustache Cop. No, I love that guy so much.
Yeah, my favorite character, Mustache Cop. But like even the Blu-ray release of Chud 2, the cover of the Blu-ray has what looks like Chuds from the first movie. Yeah, they have the pointy ears, they're bald, the glowing eyes. A couple of them are coming out of like a sewer. So like. But like you'd think it would be a little bit more to what the movie actually is, because there's none of that in this movie. But I guess maybe that's part of the joke. I don't know. Whatever. Point is, Chud 2, barely has anything to do with Chud, and all for the better of it. I think at the beginning there's like a scene where Robert Vaughn's character, he's talking with a bunch of other high-ranking government officials, and they're like, oh, the Chuds in the first movie, blah, blah, blah. And then that's literally the only connection you get. The rest of the movie has nothing to do with Chud 1. But yeah, enough of Chud 1. Chud 2 is why we're here to talk about. Yeah, it's...
Geek cinema.
It's so funny. That's the thing. Chud 2 is not great. I will fully admit it's not a great movie. It's very corny, very cheesy, very dumb, very edited weirdly too. I realized rewatching it this time, the ADR in editing in this movie is very choppy. It's very bizarre. So like, I'm sure if you're watching this, out of context, you have no idea what this is, you would probably say this is probably one of the worst movies you've ever seen. But, watching it in a wheel night setting, watching it expecting it to be bad, it's what makes it so much fun. Like, this is not Chud 1 where like it fails at being legit horror and then it's funny. No, this fails at legit horror and this is funny, and I think because I read somewhere the movie was filmed 3 different ways, where like they wanted it to either have it be a serious horror movie, they filmed it as a straight up comedy, and then they filmed it, I think the third way was like with like a more hardcore gore. And obviously, they kind of combined the 3 into what this is. And you can tell this was combined into, from 3 different visions. But I feel like the comedy sticks out the most. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I'd say like there's a lot of like real solid like comedic moments here. The movie isn't like trying to say like much of like anything or have like a deep message. It's just trying to be like a goofy, like fun horror movie revolving around like these like teenagers, I guess, who end up like right near the start of the movie, the scene where the 2 main characters try to steal lose this like dead body from their science teacher, and it starts rolling out on the road.
Yeah.
And there's like in the music, just the music displayed, it actually has like personality, and it like there's something fun happening. It's not just the same like boring music and meaningless talking scenes. And also like there's just what it leads to is them like breaking into like a fucking doctor's office or whatever and like stealing the thing, and like that whole sequence is just fun to watch.
Yeah, it's far funnier because you take it less seriously. Yeah, because the story is so absurd. It's two teenagers are cleaning out the science department or whatever, and then like they lose the cadaver they were going to use because a high school has a dead body that they, you know, use for anatomy class. That is not a thing. You know, you use frogs.
Yeah.
You don't use dead bodies. That's highly illegal. But like, again, that's what makes the movie kind of funny. Like, oh, there's just a dead body in the back of the high school that they're gonna.
It's not even. They don't even have a hard time getting it, which is funnier.
Yeah, and then they break into the disease center to get a new dead body, and they easily take Bud the Chud. Like, that's funny. Like, that's so absurd. And yeah, you can already tell like this movie's just ridiculous because then they take the dead body, they put it in the kid's bathtub, and then he drops the fucking like hair dryer into the bathtub, causes this electricity, and Bud's alive again. Like, yeah, this is absurd. This is supposed to be a comedy, a horror comedy.
Also, I also find it funny in that same scene when the guy brings it back to life. He thinks he's just brought a real human being back to life just by the mix of like bubble bath water and fucking electricity somehow brought a human back to life.
Yeah. That's, again, it's so absurd that it is funny. Like, it is just ridiculous. And we got to talk about that main character, Steve, I believe. Yeah, Steve.
I think is it Steve? Was it? Wait. Oh yeah, it was Steve. My bad.
Yeah. So Steve. So this is the connection to Norbit. So Steve is played by Brian Robbins, who was the he was the main character, Steve. He went on to become a director.
Oh my goodness.
And he directed a bunch of shit. He directed Good Burger, a bunch of Eddie Murphy movies, most notably Norbit. He directed directed the Shaggy Dog, which the Tim Allen movie. I completely forgot about that. Then beyond that, he became the CEO of Paramount.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah. He was the president. I think we talked about this on the episode, Anthony, when we talked about Norbit. I brought it up. He was in Bud the Chud.
I think I vaguely remember something about Paramount in that episode.
So he went
being like 2 years ago.
I just love that this guy went from starring in Bud the Chud to then directing Good Burger and Norbit, and then became the CEO of Paramount. I don't think he's the Paramount CEO anymore because, like, there's this whole thing with Paramount and Skydance or whatever. I don't know.
Oh god, if he was in now, that'd be hilarious because people are so scared of the Paramount Warner Brothers buyout thing and it being caused by the main actor of CHUD 2.
That would be awesome. Yeah, no, I don't think it's him. I think because it says like, hold on, American film producer, director, and executive. He was the co-CEO of Paramount Global from 2024 to 2025. President and Chief Executive Officer of Paramount Pictures and Nickelodeon from 2021 to 2025 and 2018 to 2025 respectively. So he's not the Paramount CEO anymore. Obviously because I guess Skydance kicked him out or whatever. I don't understand what the fuck's going on. Whatever. But like, point is, incredible run. Like, what a run that starts from Bud the Chud and ends with him not being the Paramount CEO anymore. Just crazy run. I gotta say. But so that means there's a connection between CHUD 2 and Norbit, which is so funny.
See, when you said that, I thought it was going to be something stupid, like how Norbit stars a CHUD and then CHUD 2. But no, you had like an actual real...
There's the same thing. I'm going to be honest.
Actual connection, legitimate connection. Brian Robbins is the connection between, Good Burger, Norbit, Bud the Chud, and now Paramount. Well, not anymore Paramount, but like you get what I mean. The guy who was running Paramount for years was in a movie called Bud the Chud. Like, that is, to me, so fucking funny. That's as if we found out David Zaslav was in fucking, some cheesy 80s horror movie.
Hey, maybe he was in Pathfinder. That connects the two movies.
Maybe he was in Pathfinder. You never know.
Who knows?
But so I get the feeling that Steve and his wiener friend and his girlfriend are supposed to be like Ferris Bueller-esque, where it's like, oh, the main character's this, take it easy kind of cool guy. His friend is this uptight nerdy guy, and then he has a girlfriend who's hot, and you go, okay, this is supposed to be like Ferris Bueller.
He's got that 80s haircut too. That
he's got the 80s haircut, yeah. But like again, but Ferris Bueller was like actually well written and well directed. Whereas I feel like they just kind of stole those character archetypes here because they don't really have characters. Steve does not have a character to him. He's just cool guy. But there's really not much else to him. It's funny because he tries to be cool, and his friend is trying to be a nerd character, but it doesn't really translate to them being fleshed out characters like, say, Ferris Bueller or Cameron were.
Mm-hmm. They're kind of just excuses for a lot of the slapstick stuff that happened. Later. Like, I love the part where they actually, like, after the titular Bud the Chud comes alive and they have to, like, hide them from their parents, and there's the fucking stupid slapstick with that. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And then what happens with the fucking dog, and that, like, how the fucking dog ends up getting affected by the fucking Chud thing. It really is. This is just a zombie movie, basically.
Yeah, it's just a zombie
movie. They just
which is great.
Like, because it spreads and shit like that, and it works. Honestly, like the main Bud kind of reminds you of like Frankenstein in some way almost.
Yeah, let's talk about Bud himself because he is kind of the star of the show. The actor is Garrett Graham, who was in Phantom of the Paradise. That's probably what he's most known for. He plays the character
and Child's Play too, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah, Child's Play too.
Say that.
Yeah. So interesting actor. I would say I most know him from, Bud the Chud. And I think he's a lot of fun. He's a lot of fun. I love because he's just this goofy zombie character walking around. He gets elements where he gets to like kind of play off, like be a little goofy with the role. He's not just a brainless zombie. He has some kind of personality where he can understand what people are saying to him, which I think is a lot of fun. Like when he goes to that woman's house who's working out. I gotta say the phrase when the woman's like working out to those 80s workout video, and she just calls the woman a neo-Nazi anorexic leotard slut. It's like what an incredible array of words. Neo-Nazi anorexic leotard slut. I love it.
She fucking hates working out that much.
Yeah. She's like, once I'm done with this, I'm gonna have a pizza and a cigarette. Fuck it, I'll start smoking now. And she's just smoking while she's exercising.
She is the real Chud in this movie. Let's be real.
But then, she like goes outside to feed her cat, and Bud walks up, and she goes, "Oh, hello, Mr. Man," and like tries to flirt with him, and she's like, "Do you have a job?" And Bud just goes, like he's actually interacting with her. Like that's funny. Like even though he's supposed to be this brainless zombie character, he does have a bit of a personality where he interacts with these characters. It's really fun.
Yeah. Another thing is in that same sequence, they have like that Goldilocks thing too, with like what big hands you have or whatever the hell. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
I kind of love it.
My, what big boots you have, soldier. Yeah, exactly. It's
a like fucking dog for a second.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But again, it is funny. I think because I wouldn't really say the director of this movie has as much experience with directing as the director of the first Chud. The first Chud director directed Chud and I guess some like religious documentary in 2004. This guy, Chud 2 director, doesn't really have a whole lot else either. It's a bunch of just low budget horror schlock from the 80s. But I don't know, I get the feeling that this guy has more experience with directing. He has like a vision here. Again, it's 3 different visions because he's like, oh, do I want to make it a straight up horror movie? Do I want to make it a comedy? And he's kind of combining the two. I feel like he is trying to make a horror comedy though. Like he says there's a serious cut of Bud 2. I would love to see it.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, no, I think, if anything, if there's an even crazier, kookier comedy version of this movie, I want to see that. Like, I want to see what this... Like, if there's even crazier, more comedic moments left out of the final cut, I want to see that version.
The only part that feels, like, semi-serious is, like, the climax at the very end when they're at the pool and they're trying to, like, freeze all of them and then explode them. Even that's, like, I think the most they kind of play it straight. And then... But even then, it's like, I don't know, it's still stupid. Like when they explode and shit, it's really funny. So I can't.
Well, because there's that whole aspect where they try to have, you had said Frankenstein Anthony, and I think you're right, because they try to do that whole thing where Bud has kind of a crush on Steve's girlfriend. I already forgot her name.
Give him like a
Katie.
Glimpse of humanity to him,
where he sees Katie and he goes like, woman, like he pursues her. And so like literally it culminates in the climax where he climbs up the diving board after her and she's like, please get away from me, and he literally pulls his heart out to show her. It's actually a really sweet moment that it's not really filmed all that well to really let you soak that in, because that's when they freeze him and he's dead and he explodes when he falls down. But I think that's like the one glimpse of where they take themselves seriously, where like he like is pulling his heart out and he's showing it to her to be like, hey, be my bride, I guess, in zombie talk, but like then he just explodes, minus his head, because then his head's just floating in like the frozen ice. Incredible. But like the rest of the movie is just bizarre. Like I had said, the ADR in this movie is so wild. Like there's so many times where characters are just not facing the camera and they're just spouting lines of dialogue that were clearly placed in later. One of my favorites is when the geeky kid and the girlfriend come over to Steve's house and to get Steve, and he's just like he's like walking away, and you can hear his mother ADR being like, Steve, that's your fourth donut, and he goes, 6, but who's counting? Anyway, let's go to school. Like there's just this weird moment where you didn't need that dialogue, but it is funny that they included it, because it's like, Steve, that's your fourth donut, 6, but who's counting? Anyway, let's go to school.
I forgot about that. And then there's also like this is like other scene when like one of the main like government agents like captures the 3 teens, and like while they're in the car, there's like an establishing shot of the car, and you just hear them speaking in the car about like getting a phone call or something.
Or then like later on when it's Halloween and you see all the kids trick-or-treating. By the way, that there's another cameo you probably missed in this one too. So you missed the John Goodman cameo in the first one. In this one, Freddy Krueger's in this scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there's like an establishing shot of a bunch of trick-or-treaters, and you see this guy with a beard, and he's like looks kind of suspicious walking with his child. That's Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger actor.
Huh.
Yeah.
Would never expect him to be in something like this.
Next time you guys are watching,
man in trench coat.
Yeah, man in trench coat. Pay attention. That's Robert Englund. Anyway, point is, during that scene where like, there's all these kids walking around, you hear clearly adult actors voicing in as children, where they're just like, I got a candy bar, I got this, and like they do the whole Charlie Brown reference where one of them goes, I got a rock.
And then, I heard that.
and then like later on there's another one of those where they go like, I got a candy bar, and one kid goes, I got a punch in the nose. It's like, clearly not child actors, it's clearly adults. And then there's that one kid that Bud picks up and he's about to eat, and then he sees that everyone's going to that high school dance, and he goes like small meat, or he says something about the kid, small fry, and then he puts the kid down, and they all walk, and him and his army of chuds that he's bringing along, and the kid, clearly voiced by like a 40-year-old woman, goes, bitch in costume, or something like that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Funny.
Again, the ADR in this movie is hilarious. It is so funny. It's like they were filming this to be a crazy comedy, and then in the editing department they're just like, let's make this crazier, and they just ADR'd all this ridiculous shit. Like, it's so funny.
It's like it just doesn't match up with like the shot that is happening, and also you're just weirdly hearing it in the background. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's funny as hell.
Again, even the stuff that like is like on set, like the lines being said on set, like anything Robert Vaughn is saying. So Robert Vaughn he's the colonel. He's not really the villain per se, but he does play like the government stooge in this one. But he is a million times better than the government character in the last one. I mean, not only because I know this actor more than the other actor, but like he's just so funny, and every line of dialogue he says is so ridiculous. Like just the way he says barbecue, and he's just like, well, I guess we're gonna have ourselves a barbecue. Like, just even subtle differences like that just make this such a fun character. And I go, why wasn't this performance in Superman 3? Because remember, he was the villain in Superman 3. I'm sure you don't remember that.
I do not.
I haven't seen that movie, but I have
seen it.
Oh, famous, one of the worst movies we've ever talked about on the podcast, and that's saying a lot.
Oh, damn.
Worse than CHUD?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would say Superman 3 is far worse than CHUD. And that pains me because it has Richard Pryor and Superman. You think, oh, that must mean I would love it. No, it is one of the most painful movies I've ever had to sit through. I fucking hate Superman 3. Lovely. But me and Chaos already went over it in Superman Summer. Remember Superman Summer? Man, I miss it.
I remember it all too well.
Yeah.
For a certain reason.
Yeah. Well, that's super review, friend. Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Yeah. No.
Another thing I want to bring up with the Colonel character, he has the type of like mannerisms and just like personality that I wanted to see in a character like as you say, the government stooge in the last movie. Like he has like, just the way like, he's always smoking a cigar. He's always like, just like you said, the way he says things, it's like he's a fun character.
Yeah.
Like there's not a lot of depth to him, obviously, but the movie isn't like this, like the last one, this movie isn't even trying to have like a lot of depth at all. And I guess another thing I want to say that this movie does pretty well is like we talked about, like the whole thing with the ending jump scare or whatever. Like at the end of the movie, like they do stop the chuds in this movie, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, they explode Bud.
But they do tease them like coming back at the end. But it works unlike the first movie because one, they like properly stopped them before, and two, like the chuds were actually in the movie more. Yeah. So there was like more built up to them like being teased at the end, and like, oh, it turns out the main character Steve was infected because we saw him, like one of them bite his foot at one point, which makes sense.
Yeah.
So they're like actually properly teasing like them coming back as like a fun ending gag, even though I kind of doubt they were going to ever make a sequel to this.
No, they weren't.
No CHUD 3, sadly.
No CHUD 3. But like, I think but it is also really funny that way because the main character doesn't make it. He becomes a CHUD in the end. That's a cool subversion. Like you'd think the main character would make it out okay. No, he ends up being a CHUD, and the geeky kid and his girlfriend Katie end up getting together. And then so then he's off off to see the world, to chudify it, as well as the Colonel. The Colonel's in the back and he's like underneath the blanket and the dog sees him. And he's just like, I'm undercover. Again, good joke right there, because then he puts the cover over himself. Hilarious.
I get it.
It's like jokes, actual fucking jokes that you can laugh at. Something the first movie didn't have.
This is what the first movie should have been, probably.
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
literally everything it should have been.
You watch the movie and it's just a fun zombie movie. Like that's all it is. It's not cleverly written. It's not a cleverly written zombie movie, like say something like Shaun of the Dead was, but it's a million times more entertaining than CHUD 1, because I can see this becoming like a Halloween tradition. You watch this every year because there's that scene where there's all these trick-or-treaters. So you think, oh, this would be like a perfect movie to put on Halloween night. You're done trick-or-treating. You go, you watch this to like ease the rest of the night. You watch some fun horror movie. Like this would be a perfect Halloween tradition.
See, the Halloween scenes do have one of my mild pet peeve things where they do that joke that every Halloween thing does that has supernatural stuff in it, where characters will see the monster and they're like, wow, that's a really effective costume. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. Like,
that is something they do in every fucking Halloween movie.
They do it. Yeah, they do it. Well, yeah, they do it in every single one. You're absolutely right. There's not I would bet good money there's not a single Halloween themed movie that doesn't do something like that. Yeah.
This fucking everywhere that always happens.
Yeah,
monster always just goes up to some like kid. It's like, whoa, look at that crazy costume.
Yeah, like that child that was voiced by a 40-year-old woman definitely said that. But they do it again when they actually go to the dance, and there's that woman like taking their tickets, and she's like, "Hey, you can't get in without the tickets." Or like, you got to get the money, and he's like, "Rrr," and she goes, "By the way, no dogs allowed." And they go, "Rrr," and she goes, "All right, fine, you can bring the dog." And they go, "Rrr, rrr." Again, that's funny.
Legit. Yeah, that whole Halloween sequence was pretty fun. Just them like emerging from the fucking like all of them like it's like that scene I mentioned in the last movie when they were all finally on the surface, except like they actually showed the Chuds like messing around and like
Mm-hmm.
just
Well, they
like
yeah,
they're just like messing around.
there's a great scene where they attack the burger joint. They're attacking everybody in there. Like, oh, when they're looking at the menu and the guy is just like, oh, what kind of meat do you want? Barbecue, Bossy, or whatever. And they go, Bobby, because that's the name of the guy taking their order.
Yeah,
So they eat Bobby.
Yeah.
Like, again, funny. And then the cherry on top is then Robert Vaughn is on the outside and he takes like a bazooka and just shoots it at the place and they blow up the whole burger restaurant.
I love that part.
Fantastic.
So
so many really explosions in this movie that it's incredible.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love there's like a lot of really funny like gags of like the Chuds, like I said, when they first go to the surface, like just like him going like one by one to them and like fucking just getting them ready to like fuck around. And then like later in the movie, I guess like before that, there was like other funny moments. Like one of them was like continuously chasing their head after one of them get casually decapitated.
Yeah. And then you have the guy walking into the barber shop and the barber has been chudified. And he's like talking to the Chud and the Chud's like actively listening to him before he attacks him. Again, like, yeah, little details that make it fun. Oh, one scene I always forget, fucking Larry Linville's in this movie. You guys don't know who that is. He's an old MASH actor. He was in MASH. He was in Earth Girls Are Easy for like a second, but he's in Chud too. He's the doctor that's like looking over the mailman. Oh, we didn't even talk about the mailman getting attacked by the dog and being dragged away.
My God,
and Steve's little sister watches in horror. Like, hilarious. It's so funny. Like, yeah, the mailman gets attacked by the dog. The dog drags him away. And then the little sister walks away, and the dad character goes, "Oh, is the mailman here?" And she goes, "He's gone." Anyway, so then later on, there's a doctor just like doing an autopsy on the mailman, and the doctor's just actively drinking and smoking and not taking any of it seriously, and then he gets attacked, and then he becomes a Chud. Yeah, that doctor's Larry Linville. Hilarious. I don't know if it's him the rest of the movie when you see the doctor. It might just be another guy heavily in makeup, but like it's just so funny that he just shows up for a scene to be like drinking and smoking and just being like, all right, let's tear this guy open, and then he gets chudified. It's spectacular.
It's honestly just really cool how good this movie is, because you think usually when this is like there's a sequel, like this isn't the first time I've watched a movie where the sequel was never designed to be a sequel, compared to like American Psycho 2, for example. That movie is fucking terrible.
Oh, the worst.
But like this is a movie that is not related to the first movie at all and is basically a completely different type of movie, just with the name slapped onto it for the sake of like, I guess, properly selling it in some way, even though the original Chud movie wasn't a huge success, I imagine. But like, it's cool that like it's the other way around. Like this is a really good movie because it's really good almost because it has no relation to the first movie.
Right. Yeah, you'd be surprised what studios or Hollywood or whatever will try to cash in on. You'd be surprised at like what movies they will, or like what, because I always bring up how there was Independence Day 2 Resurgence or something like that, Independence Day Resurgence, and there was the Asylum famously, or not famously because it's the fucking Asylum, nobody really gives a shit, but they tried to cash in on the hype of Independence Day 2 by making a movie around that time to cash in on Independence Day 2. It's like Resurgence in and of itself is already a cash in that's shitty and nobody likes. And so then you're trying to cash in on that by like making a movie and then trying to trick people into buying your movie to kind of trick people into buying Independence Day 2. Like it's bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, why are you trying to cash in on that when you could, I don't know, cash in? I mean, because they do that, whenever a Star Wars movie comes out, I'm sure they make a movie that's like called like, I don't know, Star Fight or something like that. And it's just like, trying to cash in on that. But like, yeah, so then I guess it's not really the same thing, but it is kind of similar where you're like, why are we cashing in on CHUD hype when it really wasn't that hype even back in the 80s? Or unless it was. I'm sure there was enough. I mean, because they clearly did it. They're like, CHUD must have done something to make the producers of this movie think, okay, we got to have it connected to CHUD in order for us to make something here. And
Right.
I mean, I guess I'm happy with that because, again, I like this movie a lot more than the first one. So whether it's connected to CHUD or not doesn't really matter to me. But like, I'm just happy they made it because it is so much fun. It's a movie I love telling people to watch because it's like you hear the title CHUD 2 Bud the Chud, you think, oh, that's ridiculous. It's like, yeah, that's exactly why I want you to watch it, because it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Shoot, what was I gonna say? Did you guys notice that the fucking Bud has his own theme in the movie?
Oh,
like you hear it at one point.
Baby. Yeah. I think this is what's
That was
so
funny as hell.
So we have a running thing in Wheel Night where we have a Wheel Night playlist where we'll just put like I think Williams created a Spotify playlist of all the songs that we come across in like movies, because some movies will have theme songs or contain songs or something like that, and we'll try and find them on Spotify. We also include Dog Police. That has nothing to do with any movie we've watched. We just found Dog Police one day. Oh, but dude, Dog Police, hood classic. But point is, I think we started doing that because of this movie. Because yeah, there's literally a song called Bud the Chud. Yeah, and it's just like Bud the Chud, Bud the Chud, and it is a banger. It is genuinely a banger. And every time I watch the movie, I get so hyped just hearing the drum. I have it saved on my Spotify, like songs, Bud the Chud. I genuinely will just come across and listen to it sometimes and just go, yeah, this song does rule. It's so funny. But yeah, no, everybody look up the song Bud the Chud because it is also a banger. It's so good.
Another random thing. So this is the second, believe it or not, this is only the second time I've used Tubi. I know, like, I know there's a lot of fun, like, really stupid shit you can find on there because that's just thrown onto Tubi. But the only other time I have used this to watch something was fucking almost like 2 years ago when I watched Thanksgiving 3, a movie that took 20 years off my life.
I mean, it's an okay movie.
Yeah, Brian, you're the biggest Thanksgiving 3 fan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, it's not a good movie. I will stress that. But I think that
definitely not.
Yeah. I tell you what, I think when I watched that movie, I felt like fucking Oppenheimer because I watched it and I was like, I mean, I didn't even give it a rating. So for the record, if anyone likes it, that wasn't for me because I didn't give it any positive rating. But then I saw Chaos's log for the movie where he gave it an unironic 6 and talks about it like it was a real movie. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Did I do this? That was such an insane thing. I was like, what happened?
I saw that too, and I was unsure if we watched the same movie. I was like, what the
fuck? I remember that. I think fucking brain was melting. That was great too, because I forget if Israel would have said this. I know he watched it. You probably saw that. But I made a stupid ass deal with him where I have this thing where I will always do stupid deals with him, but I always never give him anything good to watch. I'll be like, hey, can you watch Queer Duck the movie for me to watch the Celebration 1998? And with this one, I was like, hey, Israel, technically he suggested it. He was like, if I watch the Thanksgiving duology, you should watch Punch Drunk Love and Phantom Thread by PTA. And I did. He fucking hated Thanksgiving 3 so much. And I love that. It was so funny.
It is so funny that, yeah, you'll just recommend him the worst shit. And he just recommends you shit you would find on the Criterion channel. Like, just
exactly. That happens every single time.
Every single time.
I gave him, like, I watched Synecdoche, New York, and he watched, like, a fucking Kevin Smith movie. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. But yeah. If I recommended him Bud the Chud, it would not be in that caliber. So.
No, Bud the Chud is way better than. Well, it's just it's a lot of fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, you got to get on the Tubi hype, dude. I've been there. I've been there. I've done been saying this shit for years. Tubi is the best.
Look,
I have
Tubi
thought of
with an ad
randomly
blocker
putting
hits
one
like
up.
crazy. That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh
like,
yeah,
I don't like the ads that much, but if I have an ad blocker, it's awesome.
I mean, they got like 5 ads interrupting this movie randomly back to back.
Yeah. The ads can be a lot, but again, that's what makes it free. So then, you have.
I understand.
Yeah, so that's the one thing. But like, yeah, if you have an ad blocker and it works, then hey, go to fucking town. You will not regret it. And plus, they're getting more and more shit by every day because the quote unquote real fucking streaming services are getting more ass by the day. So it's like Tubi's like, oh yeah, we'll take all the real movies. We still have the shit that made us what's made us special. The shit. But like, we'll also take the real shit as well.
Yeah, there was that whole thing
Crazy
of like
dumping ground.
Yeah, there's that thing recently where they added like every Cartoon Network show from like the 2000s, and I was like, "What this is?" And it felt so surreal. I think it was only for America because I didn't see that on Canadian Tubi, but it was still so like funny the fact that all this stuff. That's what HBO Max people were like, "Oh, you got to get it for this," and now they don't have anything anymore, so it's all the free service, which is hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I just dissed the ads for Tubi, but I will say when I watched Thanksgiving 3, I think the ads were the best part.
That's fair enough.
Fair enough.
My brain was getting fried by that movie.
Yeah. No, it's a very brain frying movie. So that's fair.
I mean, Hal, you're the only person who has not given that movie a 1.
What did I give it?
Me. You give it a 4.
Okay,
which is shocking.
What?
That sounds about right. I remember it being so dead. That probably listen. There are movies out there that I will absolutely agree are ass. But what makes them fun is when I'm in a call with people and they say this is the worst thing ever, and I go, yeah, but that's what makes it fun. Like that's what makes me not hate it as much. Like
that's true.
One of the famous examples is like one of the worst things we've ever watched with friends is this movie called Alvin and the Mini Monks, and it's a Chipmunks movie.
Oh my god!
But it's like when they're babies and they're puppets.
I need to watch this right now.
Oh, you do, absolutely. But like it was really bad, and I remember thinking like this sucks. But what gave me joy watching it was hearing people like Buster and Lazy watch it and just say this is the worst thing ever, and that just made me love it even more because I'm just like, oh, this is great. Like it was so much fun just hearing them lose their minds. Like this is the worst piece of shit ever, and that's what made me go, oh, it's not that bad. It's all right, like. Thanksgiving 3 is probably one of those where I'm like, yeah, this sucks, but like it is pissing a lot of people off, so that's what makes me love it even more.
Yeah.
Plus the boss is in it, so Mr. Boss.
Oh yeah, that is.
I forgot that. Yeah.
He plays the rapping grandma.
So
yeah,
I guess now that Smiling Friend is over, maybe he can do Thanksgiving 4.
Ooh, yeah, I'd love that.
Oh boy. Mm-hmm. I forgot that his fucking Smiling Friends actor was in that fucking movie.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense because like early back in the day, he's a smaller voice actor. Absolutely, he plays the rapping puppet grandma in that movie.
Oh boy. Yeah. What the fuck was even that movie about? There was so much shit going on in it, and it just.
This sounds ironic, but I genuinely really want to know what like the behind the scenes is for that movie because no one cares about it. There's no behind the scenes or anything. But the fact that it's this weird meta thing where they're trying to find a lost second movie, it has nothing to do with the first one. It's like you could literally just make another shitty $2 sequel, but you put all this production value into it, and for nothing because everyone hates it.
Yeah, it's very rare you find somebody that actually likes Thanksgiving 3. It's very rare to find people that like Thanksgiving 1, but I think Thanksgiving 1 is, funny.
I like it.
The movie can be pretty funny at times. I'll say that much. I don't love it still, but it's I appreciated it much more after watching the third one.
Yeah. Well,
no, I love Thanksgiving 1. That one might be a new Thanksgiving tradition for me because I did rewatch it last year after we watched the first time. So,
well, hey, look, either way, Bud the Chud clears. So like,
yeah.
What the fuck this episode was about.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The Chud duology does end up better than a Thanksgiving duology.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah. I honestly, Bud the Chud is a movie I want to know more about the production. I looked up the Wikipedia and I got that little factoid where it's like, yeah, there was all these different. They filmed it 3 different ways, where they had the serious version, the comedy version. It's like, no, I want to know more. Like, I don't know. The Wikipedia is informative, I guess, but it's not as informative as I'd like it to be. I want to know more about the production.
Does your Blu-ray have like a commentary?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so I got to listen. Okay. I got to listen with audio commentary with director David Irving next time. I definitely got to get.
Yeah, he'll tell you much more.
Yeah. Because hey, listen, director commentaries can be very enlightening. Like I famously have said that I watched Faust with the director commentary. Incredible, and not even for the reasons you'd think. Just incredible.
I can buy that movie. So stupid.
Hey, look, you've seen CHUD 2 now. You guys got to get to Faust. You got to get to the other Wheel Night classics. Yes. You got to get to the Adventures of the American Rabbit.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Isn't that the one you gave like a 1 randomly or something, or am I that something else?
No, that is one. I mean, I've given a couple of movies a 1, but that's one of the more famous ones because I was angry at it. But then I realized, oh no, I was just drunk when I watched it. So it's all right. It's not great, but
maybe that'll happen with me at Super Friends at some point.
I would love that if you watch Super Friends again. You're like, oh, this wasn't that bad. I just was.
That would be hilarious because it'd be like I did this whole elaborate bit for nothing. I give up. It was okay.
Yeah. Well, so I will say I'm keeping the Blu-ray. I want to listen to this commentary next time I can. But also, I got to keep the Blu-ray because it's a Lionsgate Blu-ray. I mean, it's technically a Vestron Video Collector Series Blu-ray, but Lionsgate is tagged on the back, so I have to keep it for that. Lionsgate, my goat. I love CHUD 2. I love talking about it. There's probably a million more things I could talk about with it, but there's so much to talk about. But I'll just leave it there as it's really fun, and I highly recommend anybody watch it.
Praying for Bud the Chud's return in Avengers Doomsday.
Ooh, I would love it if Bud shows up in Avengers Hired Goons Day. It's not going to happen, but
He's gonna be in the post-credit scene. He's gonna be how they help defeat Doctor Doom. This was gonna.
Well, if it's okay,
so it's a secret weapon.
Well, it's called Doomsday, but then I guess they're doing an Infinity War Endgame thing where it's like, well, this is only part 1, and then there's part 2. It's like, okay, well, now that we know what you're doing, then whatever you do at the end of Doomsday, whatever, yeah.
Everyone knows it's already not going to be the real ending because it's leading into something else.
Yeah. Look, we've played this game with Marvel for years. We're going to keep playing with it for years to come. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm still looking forward to Avengers Hired Goons Day. If that means fucking Bud the Chud's going to show up.
Exactly. Best thing I got from that movie is every time I see a movie or just watch watch or play something with my friends, I just always say, that's going to be an Avengers Doomsday. Because one of my friends is really excited for that movie.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? That's wholesome to me that there are still people excited for Marvel. I mean,
yeah,
they'll probably be very disappointed considering Marvel's track record recently, but at least they're happy, At least they're happy.
Right. Can't relate myself nowadays, but
No.
At least Spider-Man might be cool. There's that.
I'll go see
excited for that movie still.
Yeah, I'll go see Brand New Day. I like Spider-Man.
Same. 100%. Yeah.
All right. Boys, I think it's time we stop slapping our stomachs and yeah. Remember, that's why we made this episode. CHUD. CHUD.
Exactly.
Funny movie title equals good episode.
Yeah. All right, you fucking Canadian chuds. Why don't you shout out your stuff? Anthony, it's been a hot minute since you've been here, so your chance. You can shout out your stuff first. Where can people find you?
Podcast dead. Rest in peace, Campycast. I don't really know if I'll bother plugging that in. Plus, I unlisted most of the videos, so you can mainly just. A lot of them are links you can find in I think the servers and whatnot. But I didn't feel like keeping those public. But regardless, Letterbox. I guess I also have accounts for serialized and backlogged as well for shows and games. But obviously, I use the Letterbox the most, so you can mainly find me there.
Mm-hmm. Brian, anything you want to plug? I think it's been a while since you've actually plugged anything legit. So
yeah, because I always end with something stupid instead of actually plugging anything.
Yeah, so plug something real.
Yes, okay, but I got the Letterbox I think all the same socials Anthony just listed, serialized. Backlog, I don't know why I blanked out on that. Yeah. It's ironic that the most serious I've been on too many movies in recent is talking about a movie called fucking Bud the Chud. But here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're not here to torture Israel. You're not here to torture us with, talking about Popeye or Betty Boop. So yeah, it makes sense that this was the most serious one.
Yeah, I should have put my serious bit in this episode because I was actually serious.
No, it belonged in the Betty Boop section, your serious segment.
Yes. Yeah, but that's all. Yep.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. No. R.I.P. Can't Be Cast. That's okay. You guys can do your podcasting here whenever, unless I don't feel like having you on, in which case, fuck you. But I'll be nice. But yeah, no. Thank you guys for doing the CHUD episode, and thank you to the listeners for listening to the CHUD episode. Yeah, I don't really have a way to end things anymore. I don't have like like and subscribe. I'm not a chud like that. So
make sure to hit the
bell. I love ending the podcast.
Okay. But I can't do it. We need to make more episodes.
Yeah.
But it's so good.
Goodbye, everybody. Just for your heart,